In this episode of Home Theater Geeks, I answer a listener question about in-ceiling speakers. So stay tuned.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Hey there, Scott Wilkinson here, the Home Theater Geek. In this episode, I answer a question from Eric Lay, who writes, I'm finally getting ready to get a 4K TV and a new AV receiver based on your recommendations earlier. With that purchase, I plan to move my Onkyo TX-NR509 AVR into my workout room. I already have a Samsung 1080p TV, Sony Blu-ray player, and Roku 3 in there. It's just missing an AVR and speakers. For the speakers, I'm wondering what would be a good pair that would go in the ceiling, since I'm trying to avoid any speakers on the floor due to a lack of floor space. I'd like to stay in the $300 range. Thanks for writing in, Eric, and congratulations on finally joining the 4K world. In-ceiling speakers are certainly great for not taking up any floor space, but they're more difficult to review. So you don't see as many reviews from the sources I find reputable anyway, because reviewers aren't necessarily going to poke holes in their ceilings many times to review these speakers. I did know one reviewer who actually built walls or plywood false walls in a room to be able to install in-wall speakers to be able to review them, and I always thought that was great. Still in all, I do have some recommendations. I looked at a number of best of lists from reputable, trusted sources, and I found a few that you might consider in the $300 range. First up is the Polk Audio RC80i. It gets the top pick in several best of lists, and it costs $250 per pair on Amazon and elsewhere. So that's right in your budget, a little under. It's a two-way coaxial speaker with an 8-inch woofer and a 1-inch tweeter right in the middle of the woofer. And the tweeter is aimable. So when it's in the ceiling, you can aim that speaker, that tweeter, which is more directional than the woofer, to where your listening position is, and that can improve the sound. The lower frequency limit is spec'd at 35 hertz, but the 3 dB down point, that is the frequency at which the output is 3 decibels lower than the nominal, is at 50 hertz, which is what I would really call its lower limit. And even better, it's said to be good in humid environments, like a workout room. So I think that would be an excellent choice for you. Another one that gets a lot of positive comments is from Klipsch. It's called the CDT 5650 C2, version 2, I guess. C, I suppose, for in the ceiling. It's cited as the best sound in the LifeWire list, which is one source that I like quite a bit. It lists for $139 each on Amazon, so two of them would be in the $280 range. It's also two-way coaxial with a 6.5-inch woofer and a 1-inch tweeter. And it looks like the whole assembly, woofer and tweeter, can pivot a little bit to give you that directionality. Klipsch also makes a slightly larger version, the CDT 5800C, $179 each on Amazon. It's the same as the CDT 5650, but with an 8-inch woofer, so undoubtedly deeper bass. But that would put you over your budget a bit. So, that might be, or you might just go with the 6.5-inch. Another one I wanted to mention is the Yamaha. It's got a long model number NSIC 800WH. Lists for $220 for a pair on Amazon. Two-way coaxial 8-inch woofer, 1-inch tweeter, aimable, as these other ones have been. The rating on Amazon is even slightly better than the Polk. Frequency response is spec'd from 50 hertz up to 28 kilohertz. So it goes into the ultrasonics. How important is that? Not very, in my opinion, unless you're listening to a lot of high resolution audio. But while you're working out, I don't think it's really going to matter, because, your workout, you're puffing and sweating and your machine is working or whatever. So you're not going to hear it. At that price, though, I might consider getting 4 of them. Because that would put you just over your $300 limit. And I'm going to tell you why I think so in a minute. And finally, I want to mention another one that has been listed on a number of best of lists as best budget in-ceiling speakers. And these are from a company called Acoustic Audio by Goldwood. And the model number is the CSIC83. Now, this one on Amazon is $150 for 5 of those speakers. Even more interesting, they're 3-way speakers. They have an 8-inch woofer and separate mid-range and tweeter drivers. They're not quite coaxial, and the specifications claim a frequency response down to 40 hertz. Now, it didn't say how diminished the level is at 40 hertz, but that's quite impressive. And from those who have tried them, they say they're remarkably good. Now, I think any of these would do a good job for you. The Polks, being rated for humid environments, might be the best choice because of the environment they're going to be in. But on the other hand, I kind of like the idea of having more than 2 speakers in that room. If you're watching a movie or TV show, or even listening to music, having 4 or 5 speakers above you is more immersive. And the acoustic audio ones get you 5 of those speakers for well under your budget, like half your budget. And that could be really nice. If you were to get 2 pairs of any of the others, I would recommend putting them not in the corners of the ceiling, but, out from the corners somewhat, but in a somewhat symmetrical configuration. And if you identify the front of the room and you put the ceiling speakers in, the right one to the right and the left one to the left, I might consider the following. I've done this before, and it's actually kind of cool. The rear speakers, the other speakers in the room, swap them. Put the left, route the left channel to the right speaker and vice versa, so that you have right-left in the front and left-right in the back. That way you have a stereo pair almost any direction you're facing, and it does provide a more immersive stereo experience. As I say, I've done this before with a 2-channel system and 4 speakers, and it really works pretty well. So whatever you decide to do, I hope I've been helpful. Thanks for writing in. Now, if you have a question for me, please send it along to htg@twit.tv. You can send it as a text or as an audio file or a video file. I love answering those, and we'll play them on the air. And as always, we thank you for your support of Club TWiT with your membership, and you get to come into the Club Discord channel and watch us make the show live if you like. So I hope you will consider that. Until next time, geek out.